When most people think about billionaires, they imagine mansions, private jets, supercars, mega yachts, and yes, the world's richest people own all of those. But here's the shocking truth. Those aren't where the real money goes. The biggest purchases happen behind closed doors, away from cameras, away from social media, away from public attention. Some billionaires spend over $100 million on security alone. Others quietly buy entire islands. Some own underground bunkers, private airports, even collections so rare that almost nobody knows they exist. The truth is, the richer someone becomes, the less they want the world to know about how they spend their money. So today, we're pulling back the curtain. You'll discover the hidden ways billionaires use their fortunes. Some purchases are brilliant, some are outrageous, and a few might completely change the way you think about wealth. Let's begin. Money changes your lifestyle, but extreme wealth changes your priorities. If you earn $50,000 a year, you think about paying bills, buying a better car, saving for a vacation. If you become a millionaire, you may buy a luxury home, drive an expensive car, travel first class. But billionaires live in an entirely different world. Their biggest problem isn't earning more money. It's protecting what they already have, saving time, creating opportunities, staying private, reducing risk. That's why many of their biggest expenses are invisible. They aren't trying to impress strangers. They are trying to buy something far more valuable: freedom. Let's look at the first secret. Secret number 1. Private jets are time machines. When people see a billionaire stepping onto a private jet, they usually think one thing: luxury. But that's only part of the story. For billionaires, a private jet isn't about champagne. It's about time. Think about a commercial flight. You arrive hours early, stand in security lines, wait at the gate, board with hundreds of strangers, deal with delays, collect luggage, drive from a crowded airport. Now imagine removing every one of those steps. A billionaire can arrive at a private terminal just minutes before departure, walk directly onto the aircraft, take off almost immediately, land closer to the final destination, leave the airport within minutes. The time saved over a year can add up to hundreds of hours. Those hours can be spent meeting investors, visiting factories, negotiating deals, or simply spending more time with family. To a billionaire, time often creates more wealth than money itself. That's why many own multiple aircraft, one for short trips, one for international travel, sometimes another dedicated to staff or business partners. Operating these aircraft costs millions every year. Fuel, pilots, maintenance, insurance, hangars. Yet many billionaires consider those costs worthwhile because they value flexibility and privacy. Here's the hidden lesson. The ultra-rich don't just spend money. They spend money to protect time. And time is the one thing no one can ever replace. But if you think private jets are expensive, wait until you see what sits inside their garages. Secret number 2. Hypercars. They rarely drive. Walk into the garage of an average person. You'll probably see 1 or 2 vehicles. Walk into the garage of some billionaires. You might find dozens, sometimes hundreds. Not because they need them, because they can. Some collections include Bugattis, Ferraris, Paganis, Koenigsegg's, McLarens, classic Rolls-Royces, rare Lamborghinis, limited edition Porsches. Many of these cars are driven only a handful of times. Some are never driven at all. That sounds strange. Why spend millions on a car you won't use? Because many rare cars become collectibles. Limited production, historic significance, unique engineering. A rare model can become more valuable over time. Although prices can also fall, depending on market demand and the economy. Some collectors even hire specialists to maintain every vehicle. The engines are started regularly. The batteries are monitored. The tires are replaced before they age. The interiors are climate controlled. It's like running a museum. Only this museum costs millions every year. Some billionaires even commission one-of-one cars, vehicles built exclusively for them. No second copy, no public sale, no price tag, just one owner. For most people, a car gets you from one place to another. For billionaires, a rare car can be a piece of art, a status symbol, or a long-term collectible. But surprisingly, many billionaires spend even more on something that never touches the road. Secret number 3. Floating palaces, worth hundreds of millions. Imagine owning a house that can sail around the world. That's exactly what a super yacht is. The largest private yachts are more than 100 meters long. They can include swimming pools, helicopter landing pads, private cinemas, luxury spas, gyms, beach clubs, multiple guest suites, professional kitchens, medical facilities. Some even carry submarines or support boats for exploring remote locations. These aren't simply boats. They're floating resorts, and the costs are staggering. Building a custom super yacht can cost hundreds of millions of dollars. Annual operating costs often reach millions or even tens of millions of dollars, depending on the yacht's size, crew, and maintenance needs. A yacht may require dozens of crew members, captains, engineers, chefs, housekeepers, security personnel, divers, maintenance specialists. The vessel never stops consuming money, even while sitting in a marina. So why do billionaires buy them? Privacy, freedom, control. On a yacht, there are no hotel guests, no photographers waiting in the lobby, no airport schedules, no crowds, just family, friends, and complete control over the journey. Some of the world's biggest business conversations have reportedly taken place aboard private yachts, away from public attention, away from cameras, far from distractions. For the ultra-rich, privacy itself has become one of the most valuable luxuries money can buy. So far, we've uncovered 3 hidden ways billionaires spend enormous amounts of money, not to show off, but to buy something most people overlook: time, freedom, privacy. But here's where things get even more surprising. Some billionaires quietly spend fortunes on things you'll never see on Instagram. Hidden homes, private security, underground shelters, collections worth billions, and the reasons behind those purchases might surprise you. Secret number 4. Hidden mansions you'll never find on Google Maps. When people imagine a billionaire's home, they picture a massive mansion in Beverly Hills or a beachfront villa in Malibu, maybe a penthouse overlooking New York City. And while many billionaires own properties like these, those aren't the homes they value most. Their real luxury is privacy. Many billionaires quietly buy homes in remote locations, mountain estates, private islands, ranches stretching for thousands of acres, or secluded compounds hidden behind forests and security gates. These properties rarely appear in magazines. You won't find tourists taking selfies outside. And many are owned through companies or trusts that keep the owner's identity out of public records. Why? Because attention has a price. The richer someone becomes, the more valuable privacy becomes. Some estates include private lakes, helicopter landing pads, underground garages, wine cellars, professional gyms, indoor theaters, guest houses, and even private medical facilities. Everything needed to live comfortably, without leaving the property. Some billionaires can spend weeks there, working, relaxing, meeting guests, all without attracting attention. To most people, a home is a place to sleep, To a billionaire, a home is a fortress, a workplace, a retreat, and a shield from the outside world. But even the safest mansion isn't enough. Because there's one thing billionaires never gamble with. Their safety. Secret number 5. Security. That costs more than a luxury mansion. Imagine spending millions every year. Not on vacations, not on cars, not on fashion, but on staying safe. That's reality for many of the world's wealthiest people. Security isn't an option. It's a necessity. High-profile business leaders often hire professional security teams, former military personnel, experienced bodyguards, cybersecurity specialists, private drivers, residential security staff. Every trip is carefully planned. Every event is assessed for risk. Some homes have advanced surveillance systems, secure access points, bullet-resistant windows, safe rooms, backup power systems, encrypted communication networks, and around-the-clock monitoring. The same level of protection often follows them while traveling. Private terminals, secure vehicles, advanced teams that inspect locations before the billionaire arrives. To an outsider, it may seem excessive, but when your decisions affect billion-dollar companies or thousands of employees, the risks can become very real. And physical security is only half the battle. Cybersecurity has become just as important. A single data breach can expose confidential business plans, financial information, or personal details. That's why some billionaires spend enormous amounts protecting their digital lives. Firewalls, encryption, threat monitoring, private networks, dedicated cybersecurity experts. It's an invisible investment, one that rarely makes headlines. But one mistake could cost far more than the security budget itself. And while they're protecting themselves, many billionaires are quietly building something even more valuable. Collections that can appreciate for generations. Secret number 6. Art worth more than entire cities. Imagine hanging a painting on your wall, worth more than a luxury hotel. For many billionaires, that's reality. The world's richest collectors compete for masterpieces created by history's greatest artists. Works by Pablo Picasso, Claude Monet, Vincent van Gogh, Leonardo da Vinci, Jean-Michel Basquiat, Andy Warhol, and many others. Some paintings have sold for hundreds of millions of dollars at auction. But why spend so much on a single piece of art? The answer isn't just beauty, it's rarity. There will never be another original Mona Lisa. There will never be another authentic masterpiece, painted by Van Gogh. Scarcity creates value. And over long periods, some works of art have appreciated significantly, though values can also fluctuate. For billionaires, art can be more than decoration. It can become part of a diversified investment portfolio. It can also represent history, culture, prestige. Some collections are so valuable that they're displayed only in private galleries. Others are loaned to museums around the world. Many owners prefer complete anonymity. The public never knows who bought the artwork or where it's stored. Some pieces remain hidden for decades, never photographed, never exhibited. Only a small circle of people knows they exist. That's a level of exclusivity money can buy. But there is another purchase that's even more extraordinary, one that doesn't stay on Earth at all. Secret number 7. Buying a ticket to space. For decades, space travel belonged only to astronauts. Today, a small number of wealthy individuals have experienced commercial spaceflight, and more hope to in the future. Companies developing private space tourism have opened a new frontier for those who can afford it. The price, often hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars per seat, depending on the mission and provider. For most people, that sounds impossible. For billionaires, it's another adventure. But why go? Because experiences become the ultimate luxury. When you've already owned the fastest cars, the biggest yachts, the finest homes, what's left? Seeing Earth from above, experiencing weightlessness, being among a tiny group of people who have crossed the edge of space. It's something money couldn't buy for most of human history. Now, it can. Some billionaires are investing not only in space tourism, but in the companies building the future of space exploration. They believe tomorrow's biggest opportunities may lie beyond our planet. Whether those investments succeed remains to be seen. But one thing is clear. The ultra-rich aren't just spending money on today. They're betting on tomorrow. We've already uncovered hidden mansions, elite security, masterpiece art collections, and even journeys into space. But the biggest secret is still ahead, because the smartest billionaires don't spend most of their money on luxury. They spend it on building even more wealth. Secret number 8. They build family offices. Instead of managing money themselves, most people think billionaires have one financial advisor. The truth? Many have an entire company dedicated to managing their wealth. It's called a family office. And most people have never heard of it. A family office isn't just an accounting team. It's a private organization that manages nearly every aspect of a billionaire's financial life. Investments, taxes, real estate, legal matters, philanthropy, succession planning, even travel arrangements. Some family offices employ dozens of professionals. Others have hundreds: investment analysts, lawyers, tax specialists, economists, risk managers, security experts. Their full-time job is simple: protect the family's wealth and grow it for future generations. Because here's something billionaires understand better than almost anyone. Making money is hard. Keeping it for decades can be even harder. Many fortunes disappear within a few generations because of poor planning. The world's wealthiest families try to prevent that from happening. They don't just think about next year. They think about the next 50 years, sometimes even the next century. That mindset changes everything. Secret number 9. They buy businesses before they buy luxury. Here's something that surprises many people. Most billionaires don't spend every dollar on luxury. In fact, many spend far more buying businesses than buying mansions. Think about it. A supercar loses value over time in many cases. A successful company can continue generating profits for years. That's why many billionaires are always looking for opportunities. A promising startup, a struggling company with potential, a valuable piece of technology, a chain of hotels, a logistics business, a renewable energy project. The list never ends. Some acquisitions are worth millions. Others are worth billions. To outsiders, it looks like another purchase. To a billionaire, it's another engine that can create future wealth. This is one of the biggest differences between how the wealthy and the average person think. Many people buy things that consume money. Billionaires often buy assets that have the potential to produce more money. That doesn't mean every investment succeeds. Some fail, some lose value, some never recover. But the goal isn't to avoid every mistake. It's to keep finding opportunities that outweigh the losses. That's why many billionaires spend hours studying markets, even after they've already made their fortune. Because for them, learning never stops. Secret number 10. Giving away billions. This may sound strange, but many billionaires spend enormous amounts of money by giving it away. Around the world, wealthy individuals fund hospitals, universities, medical research, clean water projects, scholarships, disaster relief, scientific research, and programs aimed at reducing poverty or improving education. Some donate publicly, others do it quietly. never asking for attention, never making headlines. Why? The reasons differ. Some want to solve problems. Some want to leave a legacy. Some support causes they care deeply about. Others believe that wealth comes with responsibility. Whatever the motivation, the scale can be extraordinary. Single donations can reach hundreds of millions of dollars, sometimes even billions. These gifts can help build schools, support life-saving research, or provide resources for communities around the world. It's a reminder that billionaire spending isn't always about luxury. Sometimes it's about impact. The biggest secret of all, after looking at private jets, super yachts, hidden estates, security teams, art collections, space travel, family offices, business investments, and philanthropy, one question remains. What is the biggest secret behind billionaire spending? The answer isn't money. It's purpose. Most billionaires don't wake up asking, "What should I buy today?" They ask, "What problem can I solve? What opportunity can I create? How can I protect what I've built?" Luxury is often a byproduct of success, not always the goal. That doesn't mean every billionaire thinks the same way. They don't. Their lifestyles, priorities, and values are incredibly different. But one pattern appears again and again. They understand the value of time. They invest in knowledge. They surround themselves with experts. And they think years ahead instead of days ahead. That's a mindset anyone can learn from, regardless of income. The next time you see a billionaire stepping off a private jet or driving a rare hypercar, remember this. Those headlines tell only part of the story. The biggest purchases usually happen behind closed doors, in boardrooms, investment meetings, research labs, private offices, not on red carpets. The true power of wealth isn't owning expensive things. It's having choices. The choice to invest, to build, to protect, to create, and sometimes to give back. That's the world most people never see. And that's how many billionaires really spend their money. So, which billionaire's spending habit surprised you the most? Was it the private islands, the family offices, the million-dollar security teams, or the billions invested in businesses and philanthropy? Tell us in the comments below. If you enjoyed this look behind the curtain of extreme wealth, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Luxury Torquay. Every week, we explore the world's most expensive cars, private jets, mega yachts, billionaire lifestyles, engineering marvels, and the hidden stories behind extraordinary fortunes. Until next time, stay curious, because the world of luxury is always deeper than it first appears. Thanks for watching.